Have you heard about delta y and dy? If not, don't worry, you're going to learn it right now. We'll take a simple equation, y equals x squared minus 1, and step by step, we'll find the values of delta y and dy when the value of x changes from 3 to 3.02. Stay with me, this is where calculus starts to get really interesting. But before we start, do you know the difference between delta y and dy? If not, let's clear it up first. Delta y is the exact change in y when x changes, while dy is the approximate change in y when x changes. Sounds interesting, right? Don't worry if you're confused. We'll make it super clear. Let's dive into this question, and by the end, First, let's find the value of x and delta x. It's given that x changes from 3 to 3.02. So, the initial value of x is 3. Now, delta x is simply the final value minus the initial value. That's 3.02 minus 3, which gives us delta x equal to 0.02. Let us find the value of delta y. The given equation is y equals x squared minus 1. Now, when x changes by delta x, the value of y also changes by delta y. So we replace x with x plus delta x and y replaced by y plus delta y. That makes the new expression x plus delta x squared minus 1. Now let's move y to the other side. When we move it across the equal sign, it changes its sign. So positive y becomes minus y. Given the equation y equals x squared minus 1, we can substitute this expression in place of y. A negative sign outside the bracket will be distributed to both terms inside, x squared minus 1. As a result, it becomes negative x squared plus 1. Next, minus 1 and plus 1 cancel out, so we're left with this equation.
We're given that x equals 3, and earlier we calculated delta x equals 0.02. Now, let's plug these values into the equation and see what we get.
Let's simplify the equation now. Adding 3 and 0.02 gives us 3.02, and squaring 3 gives us 9. Easy steps, just keeping it clean and straightforward. Let's simplify it a bit more. Squaring 3.02 gives us 9.1204, and we subtract 9 from that. So finally, delta y equals 0.1204.
Now let's move on to calculating dy. We're working with the equation y is equal to x squared minus 1. To get dy, we'll take the differential of both sides to get started.
Taking the differential, we get dy on the left side. On the right side, it will be the derivative of x squared minus the derivative of 1. To find the differential of x squared, we apply the power rule. This rule states that the exponent is brought to the front of the term, and the original exponent is reduced by 1. Additionally, we multiply by the differential dx. Applying this to x squared, we get d of x squared equals 2x dx. We replace dx squared with its derivative, 2x dx. Additionally, since 1 is a constant, its derivative is 0. When the change is really small, we can treat delta x as dx. We already know the value of x, and we've figured out delta x. So now we just plug both into the equation to get dy.
So we enter the value of x as 3 and value of delta x as 0.02. Let us simplify it further. Multiplication of 2, 3 and 0.02 will give us 0.12. Hence, the value of delta y is 0.1204. and the value of dy is 0.12. Did you notice that delta y is the exact change in y when x changes, while dy is the approximate change in y when x changes? And that is what we mentioned earlier in the lecture.
And that's all for now. Thanks for watching.